Did I change the day? I don't think I changed the day. It's day 8. Not that it fucking matters. There's, you know, it'll be in a list. I'll fix it on YouTube. Hi. What's happening? Is this your new thing? I start playing a video game and you want immediate attention? Is this your thing? Yep. Oh, you got the burps. How you doing? You're almost too big to be a lap dog. Judge Judy Slayer, welcome. What happened? Oh, I just tried. I think I just immediately said stream and didn't change what day it is. Not that it matters. Nobody cares. Oh, I don't know. Who knows? So much has happened in the last minute. Not really. Toki jumped up here. That's it. Oh god, I forgot. We're gonna have to figure out what we didn't click and listen to. I'm not looking forward to this.
Our tour begins in the entry hall. Ludwig's passion was building castles. In addition to his obsession...
We already watched this.
The painting...
These
Do you happen to know... Have any idea if we like missed an area or something?
Ludwig sure had a thing for
For swans. I don't think I clicked that before.
Ludwig sure had...
We're in here. We clicked all this. Is there anything over here? I don't think we looked here. Yes, we did.
Scenes from the opera Tristan and Isolde.
This repeats when you click? I think so.
Scenes from the opera.
Yes?
More swans.
Maybe the swans is important? Here's another swan.
These linens look seriously expensive.
I did.
And seriously old. These linens look...
I don't think I clicked that before.
The miracle of the Grail. The miracle...
Wait, can I click on it? No. I think we clicked on a couple things that are different already. A black Madonna, a crucifix. Yeah, those. I don't know about stained glass window.
I wonder why he was studying the occult before he died. I wonder why he...
The study paintings depict scenes from the Tannhäuser Saga and the Wartburg Castle. The study paintings depict scenes from the...
And she said,
I doubt there's anything left in...
nothing in there. Where were stained glass windows? We looked at all these. We looked outside.
Hildegunde's imprisonment.
Let's see if we've got the... Ugh. This is so sad.
That That's an unusual depiction of the Madonna.
That's the Madonna. Oh, these were the stained glass.
The stained glass window depicts Saint Louis receiving the last sacraments. The stained glass.
Is there anything to click? Don't think so. These are all in the same
It's
room.
a beautiful crucifix. Ivory and gold. It's a beautiful
How shall I know? No, that's where we just were. Get out. Get out. For some reason, I keep thinking like this is something. Nothing to click. Hold on. Is there room to the left? No? Tape? Tape.
This is the king's living room. The walls are decorated with scenes from the Lohengrin saga.
Where
the
did
king first
I
saw
not do
Wagner's
tape?
opera Lohengrin when he was 16, and it so affected him that he considered it a form of enlightenment. The tragedy of Lohengrin was his essential loneliness. This too was Ludwig's own fate. Ludwig withdrew more and more into his fantasy world of epic heroes and absolute monarchy, an ideal he was determined to create in his castles if he could not have it in his real life. He only wanted to be alone with his dreams,
This is
so
a long
much
tape.
so that even his servants were kept at a distance and were not allowed to look at him.
What were you afraid they'd see?
You guys look at that, baby boy. Thank you. And then, but you must go lay down. Okay.
The miracle.
How come everything is hourglassy now?
The swan motif is featured throughout the castle, but it is particularly prominent in this room. Both the swan and the lily were symbols Ludwig associated with himself. They represented his ideals of majesty and purity. The painting behind the swan shows Lohengrin's arrival.
I definitely think I listened to that before.
The swan motif, the paint. This is a reproduction of the grotto from the Tannhäuser saga. In such places, Ludwig could pretend he was one of his beloved mythic heroes. As the grotto personifies, the castles were solitary playgrounds built for Ludwig alone. He believed the masses were too coarse to appreciate fine art, and he seldom entertained guests. In fact, Ludwig had a standing order that upon his death, the castles were to be destroyed. Fortunately, the estate was in such debt that the castles were opened for paying tours only weeks after Ludwig's death. They haven't closed since. It is one of the great ironies of Ludwig's story that the castles that he was thought insane for building are now considered Bavaria's finest treasures. They have paid for their construction many times over.
I guess both of those were the same.
This is the king's study. Ludwig spent much time at his desk, writing letters, drawing up plans for his projects, and studying his favorite authors. He loved poetry, history, and the classics. In later years, he also
think we already
studied the
listened to this one.
occult. What affairs of state he did reluctantly attend to were generally attended to alone at his desk in writing. His reluctance to meet with his heads of state and perform the duties of the king were one of the reasons for the charges brought against him in 1886. But Ludwig dreamt of true kingship and a true monarchy, and the small powers left to him after Bavaria succeeded power to Prussia only incited his disdain and frustration.
I know we listened to this.
This is the final room of our. The hall was built for small private. The hall is probably best known. This is the hall. The hall.
See, there's no tape.
There must be a story behind these wolf paintings. But what story? There must be a...
Engelhard. The hunters tracked down Engelhard and Hildegunde.
Hildegunde. And we look theirs. Have we looked? Yeah, I remember seeing that one. But hold on, maybe we didn't.
The death of Engelhard. The wedding feast of Hildegunde and the Baron. Hildegunde's imprisonment.
Oi. I think there was a couple things that we clicked again that we did not click before. Let's see. Let's see that. But I feel like she would say something. Ugh. I don't know. Go back. Let's go back here. Do you think you said that we couldn't talk to her before?
I don't have anything to say to her at the moment.
Damn it. But I missed something, you say.
Ludwig is prince.
We looked at all those.
I don't have anything.
Oh, this is different.
Ludwig's Grand Master wardrobe from the Knights of St. George. Looks like it weighs a ton. He looks so regal. Why would he give up all of this pageantry and become a recluse?
Ludwig is Grand Master
He's
of
a
the
werewolf,
Knights of
damn it.
St. George. The Knights of St. George was an aristocratic society dedicated to the acts of chivalry. Ludwig loved the medieval pageantry of the order in his early years, before his increasing reclusiveness drove him to abandon public appearances.
Ludwig, there's gotta be a connection between all this St. George stuff and Gabriel. Ludwig, Grand Master of the Knights of St. George. There's gotta be a connection between all this St. George stuff and Gabriel.
It's got to be.
Signets and sash pins from the Order of the Knights of St. George. These were worn on Ludwig's uniform, as befitted his rank of Grand Master.
I wonder if these pins have any symbolic meaning. I wonder if...
Is there anything
I wonder...
I'm supposed to click specifically?
Ludwig and Wagner. Ludwig loved the opera of his contemporary Richard Wagner. He helped support Wagner's music through much of his life. Ludwig considered Wagner a close friend, often calling him the Great Friend. Wagner encouraged this infatuation, some believe, for personal gain. Typical artist. Even after Wagner's death, Ludwig still showed signs of obsession with the composer. This
Are you
letter,
obsessed with
written
me?
in 1882 by Ludwig to the conductor of the Munich Opera, instructs the conductor to make preparations for a new Wagner opera. The conductor went to see the king as instructed. When he arrived, Ludwig was ill and refused to see him. Nothing further was ever heard of this mysterious new opera. Was it a figment of an ill man's desperate wishes?
You skipped a word there, Grace.
Ludwig is offered a crown of laurels by the genius of immortal fame. 26 July 1874. By the power of the lily, we shall have the strength to resist all temptations throughout the whole year.
Loves his lilies.
26 July 1875. Solemn oath before the picture of the great king. Refrain for 3 months from all excitement. This oath has its binding power as well as its potency by de par Leroy, LNR, DPLR.
What excitement. I need to see more of that diary.
Are we supposed to ask her now about the diary? There we go. Yes, hello.
Guten Tag.
Guten Tag.
I can't actually speak German.
Im Museum ist einen Brief von Ludwig über eine neue Wagner-Oper.
Ja, ja, ich kenne diesen Brief.
Wo kann ich
What
mehr
excitement,
von
right.
dieser Wagner-Oper sehen?
Ja, ich weiß nichts über Wagner. Das hier ist kein Wagner-Museum.
Ja, ich weiß.
In Bayreuth befindet sich ein Wagner-Museum. Versuchen Sie es halt da, ne?
Bayreuth. Danke.
We have an accord. Go to a Wagner museum, I guess. She is pixelated to hell right there. Did everything crash? I hope you recover. Please come back. Does it gotta go through all of her motions? This is trouble. I am not happy. Oh no. I don't... Stuck in a page turning loop, yeah. What if I like say if I Windows out? I don't think this will help. Oh no, we gotta go back and like click things at the castle again? Oh. This is bad. This is a bad bug. Oh, I am brutal. These make me sad. Press every button. Skip, 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 skip. I know, I always save. I thought it was just being tedious. Oh, how brutal. Nice. Not good. Bad. Fuck. That was a waste of 18 minutes. Hi, Toki. Man, what a turd. Okay, come here. You know we're starting over. So you start over as well. Toki got reset.
Grace Naka.
We're leaving. Oy. I don't know if I have to click on everything, but I guess I'll click on everything. Oh,
Richard Wagner.
The original diary is kept in the Royal Archives. A few entries are shown on the opposite wall.
I've got to see that diary.
Oh, this is the most important part, maybe. Maybe that's why I was freaking out. Maybe I was supposed to actually see that.
Ludwig's.
Not actually going to listen.
Looks so.
But if in case I need to
There's
get
gotta be a
credit for looking, I don't know.
Signets and
Hi, Toki.
I wonder if these Ludwig and typical.
Da, da, da.
Even after Wagner's.
Ludwig is
Wagner.
20,
It's very exciting.
26
What excitement. Okay. Save. Terrible. Bug. Maybe it's because I clicked on her in that view or something.
Guten Tag.
Okay, there's two things.
Ludwig's Tagebuch. Im Museum?
Ja,
Wo kann ich Ludwigs Tagebuch hier anschauen?
die Tagebücher sind ganz persönlich.
Very
Die
personal.
sind in den königlichen Archiven. Niemand darf die lesen.
Aber
Nein, niemand darf die lesen.
danke.
What?
Im Museum es einen Brief von Ludwig über eine neue Wagner-Oper.
Ja, ja, ich kenne diesen Brief.
Wo kann ich
Okay. Done did talk. Whew. See, okay. New things.
Grüß Gott.
Guten Tag. Ist das die Wagner Museum?
Yeah, you're an American, aren't you? I'm afraid the house is closed this time of year. It will be open next month.
Crap.
You are interested in Wagner?
Very interested. Very recently very interested.
Yeah. Most of the house is closed for cleaning, but a few rooms are open. I shouldn't let you probably, but if it is only you, you are alone, aren't you?
Endlessly.
Are you
Come
flirting
here.
with this man?
That's very generous. What do I owe you?
Georg Emmerding. There's only a few displays. Besides, I wouldn't be much of a shining knight if I charged you.
Thanks, Georg. My name is Grace.
Hello. Have a good time.
You make it very hard for me to play video games, Toki. I'm sorry. I love you. But you must lay down.
Wagner's piano. On this piano, the maestro composed his later operas, including The Ring.
What is the ring? Is that what that movie, scary movie, was based on?
Franz Liszt, composer and Cosima Wagner's father. Richard Wagner.
Why is his hair, his beard go down so far? His chin is way up here. Are you telling me it's like burnt hair?
Richard Wagner. An old sofa. The death of Wagner. On
A true
Ash
neck
Wednesday,
beard.
1883, Wagner suffered a heart attack in a Venetian gondola on the way to Saint Michel. His wife and the gondolier carried him into a church where he regained consciousness. Wagner died 4 days later on this sofa.
Death sofa. Death mask.
Wagner's death mask. Wagner's desk, exactly as it was on the day he died. It's a letter from a Monsieur Beaujolais, dated September 1881. Looks like he's discussing acoustics and sound waves, and crystals. Wasn't Wagner's Bayreuth Theater already built? Why would Wagner be worrying about acoustics?
I'm starting to think this was just a scam for Roberta Williams to get a free vacation to Germany. Yeah, for real.
It looks like an architectural drawing of a theater. The Wittelsbacher Theater, München. Every square inch is measured. It looks like an every square...
Okay.
It's a letter from... Wasn't Wagner's Bayreuth Theater or...
Okay. Death mask. Left.
The great patron himself.
Ludwig as the classical Greek hero. A portrait given as a gift from Ludwig to Wagner.
Please, keep me on your desk.
June 10th, 1881, Munich residence. Great friend, I am writing to you in the middle of the night. My blood is pounding too wildly for sleep. Tonight's performance, how can I describe it? I am unsure whether to be terrified or thrilled. Perhaps I even feel hopeful. If it is hope, you have given it to me, my friend, for the first time in years. We must speak. Something happened during the music tonight, but I must have your absolute confidence. As you love me, come at once. Your devoted king, Ludwig. July 1882. Great and beloved king, Monsieur Beaujolais and I have finished the diagram. We checked the figures many times, and Monsieur is confident that it will work. 8 identical fixtures are to be made from the diagram and placed in the theater exactly as specified. I'm sending the diagram with your courier. Be full of hope and have courage. All will be well. Your own, Wagner.
Ludwig's death mask. Ludwig's death...
Totenmask. Mask. The German is twice the length of the English, yeah.
These look like production designs. I don't see anything that looks like those wolf paintings in Neuschwanstein, though. These look like production I don't... This must be a model of Wagner's own theater, here in Bayreuth. This must... Opera costumes. Opera costumes.
Okay, so that was the loop, yes? Did we learn anything? Who the hell knows, but I'm gonna save it. Are we going to this theater, maybe? Maybe I ask him question.
What are you doing here if the museum is closed?
They always like to have a caretaker here. It's a good job for me. I can soak in the atmosphere of the maestro while I compose.
What are you composing?
This? Oh, a new arrangement. One of Wagner's pieces.
For the Bayreuth Opera?
No. I am only a student at the university. I study music, composition, conducting.
You seem old to be a student.
Is there much of a call for conductors in Europe?
Ask my brother. He is the conductor for the Munich Opera.
Well, that's convenient. Does that mean you get free opera tickets?
Yes. I get a week's pass to the Opernfestspiele, the opera festival in Munich. It starts in a few months.
Hope I'm still around to see it.
Come with me if you like. If you're still around, I can go backstage and all sorts of things.
I'd love that. If I'm still in Germany, I'll call you, all right?
Yeah, good.
Do you have his number? I don't think you do.
Tell me about Wagner.
He was a character. He spent most of his life trying to convince rich patrons to subsidize his work.
Liar!
Unfortunately, he had expensive tastes. You see, he believed that someone of his genius deserved to live well. Can't argue with that.
But Ludwig II supported him, didn't he?
Yeah, sure, but Ludwig came along very late in Wagner's life. By then, he had already been run out of Venice and most major cities because of debt. Ludwig saved him. And the music. Best thing Ludwig ever did.
Do you know anything about that letter from Wagner to Ludwig in the display case? The one about the diagram?
Ah, no. Some sort of equipment for Ludwig's theater. But I don't know why Wagner would have cared about this. If he was worried about any theater, you would think it would have been his own theater, here, in Bayreuth.
Have you ever heard about the letter that Ludwig wrote to the Munich conductor in 1882 telling him to prepare for a new Wagner opera?
Yes, never heard
You're
of it.
full of surprises for an American.
What do you know about it?
Nothing. Not of.
No one knows anything about it.
Damn it, you.
It's like a treasure map, you know. It was probably a complete fairy tale, but it does make you wonder.
You have no idea what it could have referred to? Maybe something that Wagner was working on with Ludwig?
If there was, there's no trace of it. Except perhaps in the dreams of unemployed music students.
Have you ever heard about the wolf panels in the Singers' Hall at Neuschwanstein?
Did my brother send you here?
No?
Truly a sad.
It's only the letter to the conductor, the wolf panels. Ah, my brother thinks I am crazy because of all my theories.
What theories?
This is crotch.
What about your crotch?
A lost opera. A lost Wagner opera. And if one could find it, to a conductor, this would be like finding King Tut's tomb. But people have looked for it before. If it ever existed, it is gone forever. My brother says I waste my time even thinking about it.
I mean, Tut is famous because there was lots of crap in his tomb, but like, because the grave robbers didn't get to it. But Tut, as a pharaoh, is inconsequential, you know. I think you could have come up with a better metaphor, Roberta. Quatch equals nonsense. Looked it up. Okay.
I'm curious. Is there any other information that points to the lost opera besides Ludwig's letter and the wolf panels?
It's nothing. I'm not even supposed to have seen it. You see, my brother says that Wagner was too egotistical to have produced a lost opera. If he was working on something new, every person in Bayreuth would have heard about it. On the other hand, it was in Ludwig's character to have wanted a private opera.
You know too much about Egyptology.
Ludwig's letter shows he intended it to be played in Munich.
Yes, but that it would get so far without Wagner telling others? Why keep it a secret?
Maybe there was a very good reason for secrecy.
For example?
Do
Like-
tell.
Never mind.
Why are you both being weird and coy? I don't understand this dynamic. You understand?
What's that book in the case?
Cosima Wagner's journal is locked up for preservation.
Huh.
Smash!
Wagner souvenirs. Don't think I need any of those. Wagner souvenirs. I don't have anything to add.
Back in here. No wrong.
Grace Nakamura.
I didn't mean to click you. Is it just out? Do I need to do anything else there? It says I have other things to do there. It says I have things to do everywhere. Where last the werewolves out. Oh. Where last the werewolves out.
I don't have.
I think I clicked everything. What if there's probably more things about the journal or something.
Cosima was Wagner's wife, I think. She probably just talks about him in her journal.
That's a lost song written by Wagner.
Cosima was Wagner's wife, I think. I don't have...
Oi! What else can I do here? Terrible. Clicked everything. Unless I missed a room like I did the before. Was there anything new on the map? Like, to do with the, this theater?
It looks like an architecture. Every square... It's a... Wasn't Wagner...
This is upsetting. Let's go back here and see if the Smiths have anything to say. Or maybe I have stuff to ask her to research or something. I don't know. I have no fucking clue. If it's like, I just have to click random things about.
Hi, did you have a good time?
Uh-huh. Anything new?
Yes, you had a phone call.
Really?
A man named Professor Barclay. He said you had his number.
Oh, good.
I do. Thanks.
Best friend Gerda. I'm glad you have made up. And managed not to insult her in the next sentence. She has a bad track record. Oh, I said she came in and asked, you know, Gerda asked if she had a good time, and she's like, yeah, and is there anything that happened or whatever? She's like, yeah, you got a call from a professor or whatever, and she's all happy and whatever, and I was like, bye, best friend Gerda. So.
Who should I call?
They're pals now. And she managed not to like insult her in the next breath, so there's hope for Grace yet.
Hello.
Hi, Professor Barclay. It's Grace.
Oh, good. I have a name for you. It's Herr Josef Dahlmeier, and he specializes in Bavarian history, and I think he's somewhere near where you are.
Herr Josef
Hello.
Dahlmeier. Great, got a number?
Yeah, I do. It's 4982-555-2234.
Thanks a lot. Sorry about the bother.
That's no bother. When are you coming back to school, Gracie?
When I figure it out, I'll let you know.
Well, be good.
Did you find the wolf that ate Little Red Riding Hood? Still on the hunt. Is this a scrap of paper? Good night, Gracie. Piano, that interlude. Or the rotary phone.
Hello, sind Sie Herr Josef Dahlmeier?
Yeah, you must be Grace Nakamura, the American history student.
Loves Ludwig.
Yes,
I hear you're interested in Ludwig II.
very.
Good. There's something I want to show you. Drive to Berg on Starnberger See. Meet me at the Memorial Chapel.
All right, thank you.
Oh wait, was there anything you wanted me to look into before we meet?
Well, I was hoping you knew something about someone called the Black Wolf. He was a contemporary of Ludwig's. He lived in Prussia, I think, and he was well connected.
Never heard of him, but I'll check.
I've seen the witness protection program.
Thanks. Bye.
I was going to comment on the standing in darkness. You're gonna go get fucking kidnapped, Grace. What is this? Oh, that's my ticket. My ticket to the museum. We better save it again. Things have happened. I'm afraid about bugs that we've encountered. To get kidnapped. Bye-bye, best friend Gerda.
Gerda?
Yes?
See, look how happy they are.
Have you heard from Gabriel at all?
No, Grace, I'm sorry.
Never mind.
Let me go put on my coat for a long time. You must watch it. This is what I promised. Piano interlude. Tie that sash. I like that we're just still carrying around a screwdriver. Good for shivving. When we go to get kidnapped. The car sounds rough. Alright, new things. That walk cycle is fantastic.
It's a memorial chapel. It's a memorial.
This is where we're supposed to go, right? The realism. Am I gonna get thrown off a cliff? The music says so.
This is where he died. You must be Grace. Herr Dahlmeier.
Hello.
Josef. I didn't mean to startle you.
Nice
I wanted
perm.
you to see it.
Or something.
I feel you here the most, you know, more than at the castle. So, what did you want to know?
Everything. Tell me everything about Ludwig. Oh man, there's so many words.
Professor Barclay says your hobby is Ludwig.
Yes. He was the last real king that Bavaria had. As a Bavarian and a history buff, that's enough to hook me right there.
But there's more, right?
He was a romantic, you know. A dreamer.
How do you get
And
those
he was
titles?
misunderstood, maligned.
Sounds like you can relate.
Me? Hell, I have it easy. At least I live in the 1990s. And not every eye in the country is on me. But yes, I can relate.
You know about Ludwig's diary, right?
Of course.
How can I get my hands on it?
I'm sorry. I have been trying myself for 5 years. They keep it locked up tight in the Royal Archives and they don't let it out. They must think it contains things that will hurt his image.
They won't let anyone see it, not ever?
Only one person outside of the government ever got to see it, a biographer, Sir Richmond Chapel. He had friends among the German royals and they let him look at it.
Did you ever try to contact Chapel? Pick his brain?
No? I don't believe I never thought of that.
Idiot!
If you do and you find out anything, you must share.
It's a promise.
This guy, he's not smart, this man. To just not think of that. Like, hey, this one person has this insight. Maybe ask him about it. If Ludwig is your hobby.
I don't know where to start. There's so much. Politically, the most significant thing about Ludwig II was that he signed over independent Bavarian statehood to Prussia in 1870. Bavaria became a part of United Germany, and Ludwig became a figurehead prince under the Prussian Kaiser.
Why do you think he did that?
Bavaria had been involved in the 100 Years' War. People were tired of fighting. Prussia's push to unite the German states made some amount of sense. Still, Ludwig must have had other options. At the very least, he should have negotiated better terms.
So what was the real reason?
He was manipulated by Bismarck. At least that's what I think, anyway.
Bismarcky?
What about Ludwig personally?
You'll find two perspectives on Ludwig. The view the tourists get is the romantic ideal, Ludwig the tormented loner. Then there is the historian's point of view. Ludwig was plagued with guilt over his sexual orientation and was driven mad with self-loathing.
But I take it you're not buying either point of view.
Well, it's all too convenient, isn't it? That he was a devout Catholic, there is no question, and I'm sure there were pressures on him to be normal. But he was no prude. He loved Byron, his philosophy, the French court. If anything, Ludwig was too much an egomaniac. He didn't give a damn what anyone thought. And besides, he didn't try to hide any of his relationships.
He also was a werewolf sometimes.
If he suffered from anything in his romantic life, it was disillusionment. No one loved him back as purely as he himself loved.
Lego my egomaniac.
Well, if it wasn't sexual guilt that tormented him, what was it?
Werewolf!
I don't know. His diary was filled with self-guilt, but I'm sure it's not about that. If I knew, I'd write my own book, set the record straight, so to speak.
He killed a man. Many men.
Have you read anything about Ludwig's midnight sleigh rides?
Oh, would that have been something? To be out at night and suddenly see him sweep by with his entourage? They say the night agitated Ludwig, and that being outdoors and the rushing feeling of the sleigh calmed him down.
How much foreshadowing do we need?
Sometimes even the sleigh wasn't enough. He would stop in some remote woods, order his servants to stay put, and go wandering off by himself for hours.
To be
It
a
drove
werewolf.
The servants crazy.
Bismarcky.
Tell me about Bismarck.
Bismarck. He was the Prussian Kaiser's chancellor. Not a nice man. Bismarck had a reputation for learning people's weaknesses and manipulating them. It's a matter of record that he had spies on Ludwig's staff. He may even have had a henchman even closer to the king. And he was involved in the conspiracy to declare Ludwig insane.
And also a werewolf.
Did you find out anything about the Black Wolf?
I did. I'd read about him before, but I hadn't realized that was who you were talking about. His name was Godin. Paul Godin. I found a reference to his being called the Black Wolf after you telephoned.
I've never heard of him. Who was he?
Godin lived on the fringes of the Prussian court. He was handsome, charming, dangerous, or so they say. He was variously rumored to have been a foreign prince, a Prussian spy, even an assassin. Since you were interested in him, I found out some things that are probably true. It said he came from abroad in the mid-1800s, but claimed high German blood.
Do you know where he came from?
No. And he was ruthlessly ambitious. He probably found out who held the power, Bismarck, and offered his services. Bismarck was a good judge of talent, of that sort anyway.
What else do you know about Godin?
He must have done something remarkable. Bismarck was not a generous man. He liked to string people along with promises, but rarely came through. He did for Godin, though. He gave him a royal title and lands in 1863. And that was the last reference I found to him.
Well, how could he just disappear?
It's not that unusual. Back then, when you were given a title, you usually changed your name and moved to a place where no one knew your past, so you could act with impunity. Or be a pompous ass and get away with it.
Is there any way to find out what Godin was called after he got his title?
Is it that critical?
It might be.
Well, you could send away for a copy of the entitlement deed, assuming it has destroyed during one of the wars. Godin's new name would be on it. But you would need a research permit from the government to access those records, and they can be very hard to get. A lot of red tape.
Great.
This is actually reasonable acting. It's so unexpected.
What do you know about Ludwig's hunting accident?
A couple of years ago, I was introduced to this great old man, a real old world farmer. Well, his grandfather was Richard Horning, Ludwig's equestrian. Oh, he told some great Ludwig stories. Sometimes I get lucky. Anyway, he said that after the hunting accident, Ludwig got terribly ill, that he had a fever and was acting crazy. They were afraid that the wolf had been carrying a disease or that the bite had gone septic.
A wolf bit him?
Yeah, it's not so unusual. There were a lot of wolves in the Alps back then. The servants were really worried, but Ludwig recovered, physically anyway. Horning's grandfather said it was the fever that broke Ludwig's mind, that he was worse than ever after that.
Maybe my standards have been lowered by a week of this. Yeah, probably.
What do you mean Ludwig got worse after the accident?
Ludwig always had been a very private person. But after the accident, he got darker, more crazy. Towards the end, he was even forcing his servants to enter his chambers bent over so they couldn't see his face. Horning's grandfather said his temper was fearsome. He would fly into a rage at the least mistake.
Must have been terrified of him.
Yes, well. Horning's grandfather felt sorry for Ludwig, and Ludwig hated his own violence. He was always giving gifts to his servants to apologize.
You mentioned that there were other reasons why Ludwig's servants feared him.
That's another of Horning's mysteries. There's a story about Neuschwanstein. Apparently there was a period of time of 2 or 3 months when Wagner would come and visit him.
Wagner?
Yeah. The two would lock themselves in the singer's hall. Horning's grandfather said the sounds that came from there were awful. Well, the servants had superstitious minds anyway. Some of them quit over it, just walked away.
What kind of sound?
Horning's grandfather called them heartbreaking and ungodly. Maybe it was Wagner trying to sing.
Well, I guess that's all for now. Thanks for your help.
It's my pleasure. And if you ever want to talk again, just give me a call. I'll meet you down.
I will. Thanks.
Servus.
We can also just talk on the phone, guy. That was something in an Ivan the Terrible movie I saw. The door was super short to the throne room, so you had to bow just to enter.
This is where they found Ludwig's body.
Ah.
This is...
Gah! I should save it. That was a lot of talking we did. There's something in the water. Okay. Hold on. I am fearful. Really?
This is where they found...
Oh, I had to look over here.
I wonder what it felt like under there. I wonder what it...
Hmm.
I wonder what it...
It's very confusing. Why? It told me nothing. Still says we have shit to do there. My goodness. Oh, I was gonna talk to the Smiths. I never got around to it. Click on the ground that's just on the other side of the railings to bring up a close-up view of part of the water. Click on the water and then you're done. What? I wonder what it felt like. I thought it would be more interesting too. Just like that time that she's like, wow, how
I don't have
interesting.
anything to say to him.
Nope, I guess he's not here. Nobody's here to talk to. Do you have shits to say?
Guess they're closed.
Do we have shit to tell Gabriel yet? Probably not. But I'm gonna try it. It's probably the last thing we do tonight. Here, you can see it again.
Hi, Gerda. I'm back. Good.
Oh no, it was a little different, but still, best friend Gerda.
I'm not sure what other case books would.
So cheery. You got anything to say?
I'll write to Gabriel. Soon as I have enough info to blow his little investigation out of the water.
It would seem not. Okay, I think that will be it for this evening. So much to click. That's what I think of that. And we will be returning to the museums and the tedium tomorrow. Yes, because it's Tuesday. All right. Thank you for joining me. Had a little bit more of a crew today. And I'll see you tomorrow. Bye.